All right. Sound like Kevin Hart. Anyway, Shalom, Kahalo Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rekahach Radash. Shalom and salutations and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. While I continue to learn this 100% truth, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham, throw out for your sacrifices. Shalom also to the elder bishops out of Connecticut, who will also continue to learn this 100% truth from Great Millstone. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham to you. Shalom also to the elders and the prophets, the teachers and evangelists of Great Millstone, who also put this work in and do great edifications. The water, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Barakateh Shai, and Barakatham to those men who have been sacrificing as well. And last but not least, Shalom to the speckled bird, the confused face, the Akim and Aqua, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. Back again with another video, praying that this one be edifying to you. And this one is about spreading your seed. I was looking for a lesson, trying to find something to build on, and I got into the spirit was on me to talk about spreading your seed, and just a quick understanding of how that happened. I'll get you some scriptures of Barak about how it happened. But that happened. When I say speckled bird, confused face, the speckled bird, the confused face are Israelites who look like the other nations. Again, the speckled bird, confused face are Israelites who look like the other nations. And how would something like that happen? Something like that happens with mingling the seed of the Israelite man with the other nation women. And it's not vice versa, where it happens where the heathen nations mix their seed with the Israelite woman, because ultimately that is not a speckled bird or a confused face. Even though they may look like an Israelite, they are heathens. I am talking about the Israelites who do look like heathens but are indeed Israelites. So that's a very important thing, because the world, Esau has set it up to confuse the world and to make the world think that when different nations make babies with each other, male or female or male, that it's a mixed seed. And no, it's not a mixed seed. It is whatever your father is who you are. So with that, let's get some scripture. We're going to go to the Apocrypha first. First Esdras. And I was reading a little bit of Second Esdras today. And, it's just praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshua to continue to put the spirit and keep me in the spirit of study, learning, and teaching, and becoming better at it. And to also not just be better at it, but to be humble with it, and also keep the fear in me to continue to do this work the right way. That's 100% truth. So with that, let's get First Esdras 8 and 70. And it reads, "For both they and their sons have married with their daughters." So read it as you hear it again. For both they and their sons, this is not saying the women, it's saying the sons, the Israelite men, have married with their daughters, and the holy seed, the Israelite seed, is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. What is iniquity? Iniquity is sin, committing sin. And it was told to us through Moses by Yahweh Shem Yahshua to not mix our seed with these women, the holy seed, which is the seed of Yasha'Allah, which is also the chosen seed, right? Let's get Isaiah 41 and 8, and it reads, "But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend." So we are a special people unto Yahweh and Yahushai, and we are a chosen seed that we weren't supposed to mix our seed with any heathen nation, but with our own women. And this makes me think about, I was watching TikTok earlier, how there was an older gentleman on there, or older man, I'm not going to say he's a gentleman, but an older man, a brother, you would say, that was speaking on his TikTok and explaining to you that the mixed seed is not something we were supposed to be doing. And because of it, this is part of the iniquity, the sin that also cursed us. But at the same time, so many different things jogging in my mind, and I don't want to be too deep, just one deep. But putting ourselves in a position to mingle with the other heathen nations, women, also put us where we were scattered all over the world. And this is why it happened, because only the Israelites were scattered across the four corners of the earth and was in slavery to every nation. And they made a pact with one another, even though they didn't agree with one another, to keep us down. And I'm hoping I'm making sense, man. I'm trying to keep it simple, because I don't want to, when you start to learn to understand the scriptures, precepts and understanding start to pop in your head when you're talking about one thing, and it's important to not go off, but the Spirit is going to have you do what it wants you to do, regardless of the fact. Galatians 3:29, and it reads, and if ye be Hamashiachs, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. So this is something that the other nations are mad about, because we are the ones to receive the promises. Not everybody is going to receive the promise. Let's get 1 Kings. I'll be moving too fast. 1 Kings 11:2. And it reads, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them. What is go into them? Sex, intercourse. Neither shall they come into you. What is he saying? He's saying that the Israelite man should not mingle with the heathen women, and the Israelite woman should not mingle with the heathen man. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon cleaved unto these in love. So what happened was, King Solomon, very well respected and loved king. What happened was that King Solomon, as he got older, he was still dealing with virgins, marrying different nations of women. And the world has always hated us because they hate Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, as far as the heathens. So, I'm pretty sure they put a plan together where, they were in servitude to King Solomon. So what they would do is present their daughters, most likely, to King Solomon to intermarry the families, because, so many ways, let's say an Edomite woman, Edomite family that was in servitude to King Solomon, they would have a daughter, and they would, so many ways, advance their daughter to King Solomon. So in so many ways, it would give them favoritism. That Edomite out of all the other Edomites that were probably in servitude. You know what I mean? It would help them. But the thing was, they taught their daughter from the beginning on up to worship their gods. So as King Solomon got older, this is what they did. They persuaded King Solomon to worship their gods, and he built altars and things like that because he was in love with them. You know what I'm saying? He's older too, so he's a little bit more softer when it comes to how he's dealing with the heathen nations' women. This is Deuteronomy 7:3. And it reads, "Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, thy daughter. Thou shalt not give into the son, nor his daughter shalt thou give unto the son." So we were doing this. This is why there's a law about it, because Yahweh and Yahushua was serious about that, and this is something that we was doing, and we were weakening our nation by doing this. This is something that it's in Genesis though. Jacob had one daughter after his 11 sons. Her name was Dinah, and Dinah was taken by a Hamite prince, and he wanted to be with her. So, he had the Hamite king go to Jacob and say, "We want to join families. My son loves and wants to keep your daughter as his wife." So they agreed to it, even though the 12 tribes, the 12 brothers of Israel, which was at that time, was very upset and angry, and they wanted to wreak havoc on the king and the prince and their people. But Jacob agreed to it and agreed that the men must be circumcised for the families to intertwine with one another. So they did that. But I think Judah and Simeon, I could be wrong, please correct me, decided to go and kill them anyway, even after they did the circumcision. But, because they felt disrespected as far as their family for that Hamite prince taking their sister like that. But, this is something that's is going to happen. And there's scriptures about teaching you how to deal with that. But, the Most High is going to bring everything of old back into remembrance, because the laws, statutes, and commandments are going to be in our inward part. So we're going to remember everything, and we're going to do everything perfectly. This is when we're going to be perfect. This is Ecclesiasticus Sirach 26:20. "When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting it is goodness to thy stock." It's good scripture right there. When you have got how should I say it? When you take a heathen woman, she becomes part of you, but she's going to have to learn the ways of Yahweh and Yahushua, which is what we're going to do anyway. We're going to get ready to do that to the heathen nations. We're going to put them in slavery and take their women, which women are not the women. They won't be. They would never have been with a man. They won't be married in the kingdom, because we're going to have women on this side, but we're going to also, everything's going to be done in decency and order in the new kingdom, and we're going to have their women as well, and we're going to make them a part of our family, but they're going to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments to walk in a righteous way. They're not going to be eating abominable foods and doing wicked things, even though, we took them as concubines to make them seeds to bring them forth our seeds. It's not going to happen like that. Let's get Ezra 9:2. And it reads, "For they have taken of their daughters for themselves, and for their sons so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. So, let me see something. Our people do not benefit when we when we mix our seed with the seed of the nation. And that's exactly what's going on today with our people right now. We want to mix our seed with the heathen nation, and we want to, preferably I'm talking about Esau, we want to be down with them, not realizing that, this man cares nothing for you, and he's going to destroy you. This is Ezra 9:2 in the NLT, and it reads, For the men of Israel have married women from these people and have taken them as wives for their sons, so their only race has become polluted by these mixed marriages. Worse yet, the leaders and the officials have led way in this outrage. So our own people decided to, take on these concubines and also take on concubines and have them for their sons. So it's kind of similar to what Esau did with us, with our women in slavery. He would, for his son to, the Edomite son to just kind of, it was like a what you would say, like these robot sex dolls. That's what, in a sense, our young women were used in the day back for. And to this day, man, I see how our women are just, they don't even realize, that they are a possession and how they get taken advantage of, Second Ezra 10:3 in the NLT, and it reads, let us now make a covenant with our power to divorce our pagan wives and to lead them away with their children. We will follow the advice given by you and by the others who respect the commands of our power. Let it be done according to the law of the Most High. Everything was going to be done in decency and order. Everything. So this is the proof of speckled face. Speckled bird, the confused face. I think I heard a long time ago. What I'm saying? Just when I was just constantly listening. This is when I I was learning to separate the camps on who was who and what was what. But Bishop Nate of IUIC said, which at the time it made sense to me, and it still does to this day. I could be wrong. Please, if I am, please correct me. But not giving Bishop Nate props here. I'm just stating what if it's facts, and it's right is right is right. But he talked to his congregation teaching, I believe, and he asked them, how do you think the Puerto Ricans how do you think the Northern Kingdom have stringy hair, but they are Israelites, when the Southern Kingdom doesn't have stringy hair? And they couldn't answer it. But when he said that in the ancient times when Assyria took them, they already started mingling with the Assyrians, heavy, right? And because of that, it kind of changed. It's speckled bird, confused face. It changed the makeup on and Yahweh Shem Yahushua loves he loves fruit, different fruit, I'm gonna say, of in the fruit bowl, which are Israelites. That's why we are the the Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom are Israelites as well, but they don't but you wouldn't be able to tell that because I'm gonna get Hosea 7:10. Because they started mixing with their seed early, so they intermingled so much that their people started coming out to be the way they are. And that's what happens when you mix certain seeds and generation after generation. Even though the male seed is the the Israelite seed is a dominant seed. When other seeds start mixing, you can still tell there's a difference, but at the same time, they start looking like the nations that they come from, whether it be their mother or their father, if that makes sense. Hosea 7 and 8, and it reads in NLT, the people of Israel mingled with the godless foreigners like the Assyrians, making themselves as worthless as a half-baked cake, like the Assyrians. Ephraim mixed the kingdom of Israel, northern kingdom, started mixing their seed early with these devils, man. And because of that, this is why we have speckled bird, confused face. But they try to, take you from that as far as, no, they're not colored. There's no, they pretty much don't want you to know that, Yahweh Shai, are dark-skinned men who are coming, who Yahweh Shai is going to come back into rulership, and he's going to rule over all you heathen nations. And they don't want that. They want you to kind of stay where you at, and it's not going to happen because it's not in the prophecy. The prophecies tell us that Yahweh Shai is going to come back to rule, and he's going to have his men under King David. He's going to have King David and the 12, and then the elect ruling, doing what they want to do, doing what we want to do, doing what we got to do. You know what I mean? So, understanding that appearance of who you really are is very important. Scriptures tell you that believe on Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures has said, roughly paraphrasing. I'm thinking of another scripture. Let me get it. I got one to back up what I was saying when I was saying Yahweh Shai. The ultimate Judites, what you would call black men. John 14:9. Yahweh Shai said unto me, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me? Philip, he that have seen me have seen the Father, and how sayest thou then, show us the Father? So, and then Daniel talks about seeing Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and also St. John talks about seeing Yahweh Shai and describing them and who they are. Let's get Joshua. Joshua 23:12 in the NLT, and it reads, but if you turn away from him and cling to the customs of the survivors of these nations remaining among you, and if you intermarry with them, then know full thou certain that Yahweh, your power, will no longer drive them out of your land, because now you've made them part of you. Instead, they will be a snare and a trap to you, a whip for your backs, and thorny brambles in your eyes, and you will vanish from this good land Yahweh, your power, has given you. This is why we wasn't supposed to. And look at what's going on now. Even though we know there's Israelites out there, we do understand that they're predominantly seeds of the heathen nation. And that's from us intermarrying and dealing with these dudes and these women, weakening our seed in so many ways. Yeah, I said it. Nehemiah 13:25. Speaking about it, let me get it though. And it reads in the NLT. So I confronted them and called them down curses on them. I beat some of them and pulled out their hair. I made them swear in the name of the Most High that they would not let their children intermarry with the pagan people of the land. And this is how our people are involved in the holidays. And, you know what I'm saying? You could tell them all day that's not right and they shouldn't be doing it. But because because they intermingle and they become comfortable to their ways, to their Hellenistic ways of how they live and eat. This is what happened to them. This is what happened to us. Let me see. Tobit 4:12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of a seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of the father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets, Noe, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they that all married wives in their own kindred, were blessed, and their children in their land seed shall inherit the land. This is why Yahweh Shah want us mingling with them, because they started to, and really it's more about allowing, because the Israelite man played it fair like we do today. We want to be mingled in with our enemies. The Israelite man allowed the heathen nation men to intertwine with their women, with our women, and they learned and came up in the ways of being the devil towards us. And look where we at with it. Do I got another scripture? Let me see some. I want to see what this word copulation means before I read the scripture. Act of lying, layer, coating, act of lying. So,
Strong's H 7902, Shechava, Shechava.
Shechava, 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 Shechaba, Shechaba, right? So the scripture reads, and if any man's seed of a lie go out from him, copulation, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the even. Until the evening. That's what I thought. I'm like, okay, what do you mean by that? In the NLT it says, Leviticus 15:16. Whenever a man has a emission of semen, he must bathe his entire body in water, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until the next evening. I mean, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right to say you're edified. You know, I just want to talk a little bit about the speckled bird, the confused face, how it happens. And, Yahweh Bashan Shah warning us about that. You know what I mean? And, one of those things that also angered him, because we chose not to listen to him and do what we agreed that we would do, but just went the opposite way, and forced him to put us in the position that we're in. And now, we are making these babies, and there's nothing wrong with that, because as far as men is concerned, because we're bringing back the Israelite nation. We're going to do it in the kingdom. We're going to do it here on earth again, or we're going to do it here on the earth too. And we have been doing it here on the earth, but we're not supposed to allow our women to mingle with their seed. And that's part of also the blessings. This is one of the reasons why Esau hates us, because he understands that blessing. He will be used like we were to bring forth more of their heathen nations to bring them up so they can work for us. You know what I mean? I'll be to say you're edified with that. I'm going to say, Kahalo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Radash, Shalom, and salutations again in double honors. They rule well. The elders are great millstone on down, and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.